we have a series circuit here, 100 volt source, 3 resistors in series, and we know that this R1, this 10 ohm resistor, has 2 amps going through it. What we want to find out is what's the resistance value of R3. Well, I think the best way to find out is using Ohm's law. We have the Ohm's law triangle here. And we could find R3 if we could find V3 and the current going through it. And we have enough information here to find that. The current going through it is going to be the same current going through R1. Because this is a series circuit, so it's going to be the same current going through all of the components. Right, 2 amps coming out of the source, going through R1, through R2, and R3, and then back to the source. So we already know the current. Now we got to find the voltage. Well, there's a rule with the voltages in a series circuit. It says voltage total is going to equal V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus whatever if there were more resistors. So we know that we have 100 volts, and that's going to equal these voltage drops. So let's find out what those voltage drops are. This voltage drop here, V1, right? V equals current times resistance, so that would be the current, the 2 amps, times R1, 10 ohms. 20 volts for V1. How about V2? That's going to be the same 2 amps times the 20 ohms, so that's going to be 40 volts. All right, so let's plug those numbers in here. Because here we know the current, but we don't know the resistance yet, so we can't find that voltage. So if we plug in 20 volts for V1 and 40 volts for V2, well, looking at this equation, 100 volts equals 20 volts plus 40 volts plus V3. V3 has to equal 40 volts. All right, so if we have 40 volts up here, voltage drop across R3, 40 volts, and 2 amps going through it, using Ohm's law, right, R3 is going to equal V3 divided by the current. And that's going to be the 40 volts divided by the 2 amps. So R3 is going to equal 20 ohms. And that makes sense because it's the same resistance as R2, right? That makes sense that it's the same resistance as R2 because it's the same voltage drop and the same current going through it.